Hey, everybody. Happy Monday. We're running just a bit late, but Ricky will be here in just a second and we will get started. Pam's down at Walt Disney World. So let me know where you're tuned in tonight. It's actually 70 degrees here in St. Louis right now. 70. It was 5 degrees warmer at kickoff in St. Louis than in Miami last night. Crazy. Oh, yeah, by the way, Missouri owns the Stanley Cup and the Lombardi Trophy. Just saying, our little state championship country. Getting ready to do listener questions for episode 1599, then episode 1600 after that. Craziness. And of course, we have snow coming in tomorrow night, even though it's 70 right now. There's your St. Louis for you. Hey, Jeff. Are you able to go back all the way to episode 1? Because I know I was having issues with that for a while. Nope. Ricky's going to be here in just a second. Just got to let the dog out. He had to work late. We'll start here shortly. I'm Han Solo. Ricky had to work late, but she is, I think, home now-ish. If I timed it right. She had to let the dog out. Hey, George. Happy Monday. There were some weird shows back in the day. Oh my gosh, I'll have to go back and listen to that. It has March of 2008. Mallory was 2 months old. There you go. Thomas is getting some St. Louis weather. 82 and sleet on Thursday morning. Yep. 70 here with snow and ice tomorrow night. Wonderful. Pam's excited though. She wants a snow day. There's a gap. Okay, I'll work on that. Hey, Alfred. Hey, Christina. Head to the world on Thursday. Where are you staying? I have 18 days till Princess. How did you know? Yes, she's down there with the parentals having some fun. Dennis in the house down in Texas. Oh my gosh, Carrie, you're killing me. I'm so hungry, and you're at Tepanito. And by the way, I'm giving you a lesson on how to say it's not Misner's Lounge. We've been saying it wrong. A listener corrected me, and I'm so glad they did all the research. So we'll talk about that tonight. Hey, Justin, hopefully you're doing well tonight. Tampa, I believe. Jennifer in St. Peters, Missouri. Be Our Guest Podcast Studios West home. She's right down the road. Yeah, we started the show as just Trip Reports. It was only going to be the Monday shows. Then we added the Friday show as just a panel. And then on an April Fool's Day, we started our first listener questions as an April Fool's joke and stuck with it about 6 years ago. Yeah, everybody's getting the winter weather, but everybody's getting teased. Like I walked around the lake this morning and the turtles were out. I'm glad the snakes weren't out, but yeah, it's been 70 for 2 days in a row. So everybody, the birds are chirping, and then it's gonna be freezing again tomorrow. So, I love pop, man. I wish I was a pop. I keep trying to change my resort for Princess to pop, but no availability. I switched from Riverside to Coronado though, because I've never stayed in the tower. Hey, Jennifer out in Maryland. Thanks for tuning in. We'll get started here in just a second. We're just waiting for Ricky to come on in. That's it. BB knows all. Makes me nervous. I always have to look over my shoulder. Got to see Stacy, one of the lizards, out at the cheer competition this weekend. So that was great. Her daughter did well. I think both of our daughters came in second place in their divisions. But we didn't get the bid. Oh, yeah. Trinidad and Sabrina. Fort Payne, Alabama. Love some Alabama. Ricky is going upstairs. She'll be here in a minute. Almost there. Almost there. Nope, that was a different Debbie. She was on the show. Just met her on the Disboards when I started the podcast. So she was on for a while, but then had some personal stuff come up and had to leave the show. Thursday's a good day to put out a show because I think people on Friday mornings are ready for a podcast. That's why I put our Friday show out on Thursday night. I'm ready to like start the weekend, need a show, drive in, get in a good mood. That's why it's a good idea. Thursday shows. Seattle, crossing the country for Yvonne. Have fun. Oh, man, I'm so glad people have trips planned. It's a great time. I don't know anything about renting DVC points. That's why we never have questions on the show about that because we can't do it as travel agents. So I do not know. Chiefs. Super Bowl champs. Mahomes was at the Magic Kingdom today. And he got to ride Rise without a boarding group. Didn't have to get there at 6 o'clock. So win the Super Bowl. Don't have to get there early. Just saying. Oh, man. Bethany's going to Pop 2 for a week. 25 days. She'll be there right after me. I'm not Pop, though, but at Walt Disney World. Roll Tide. That is correct. Debbie was from Dallas, I think a suburb of Dallas back in the day. We met on the Disboards back in like 2007. She wrote this incredible trip report about one of her trips. I talked to her. I said, we're going to start a podcast about trip reports. You want to talk about it? She said, yes. So she came on, I think it was episode 3, maybe I think it was 3. And she was so funny, man. She was like real lighthearted and stuff. So we talked about her trip, and then the rest was history. She was on the show, but then she had she had to take care of some stuff and got really busy. So we just kind of she had to move on, but she did move to Florida, man. She chased the dream. BB's staying at, remember, it's the Riv. The Riv, she's going to have the Riv burger. Oh, man. We can't talk about food right now. I'm so hungry. Susan says, hello from, and she leaves us hanging. I don't know. Inglewood, Florida for Donna. Nice. Joey Jones in the house. You never know where Joey will pop up. You got to look around. Oh, there he is. He'll just sneak up on you. There he is. Great runner. We got a fun fact here about the Detroit Lions. Detroit Tigers have now drafted more Super Bowl champion quarterbacks than the Lions. That is kind of sad. Oh, Dennis. Hey, at least you're at Walt Disney World. That's how you got to look at it. Oh my gosh. Who's winning? Susan Becker. She's in the Skyliner. My top pick for a place to relax. It depends who you're with, though. If you're with a bunch of kids, probably not. 2 rooms at Pop or splurge for a villa? I will say the best trip I ever had, one of the best trips I ever had, was splitting a 2-bedroom villa with my buddy Scott and his family. We had so much. It's like having your own house. It's like a constant sleepover for families. I love the villa, but Pop's also fun. But if you can swing the villa, it was a lot of fun. Oh, look for Clint at the Animal Kingdom. He's doing his seasonal shifts. I've actually thought about that back about 10 years ago before I was so busy. Like just flying down, doing some shifts and saying I'm a cast member. But Susan just finished Rise. No spoilers. Yeah, the podcast just started as something I did for fun for years and years. And then Pam's like, you should book travel. So I said, okay, show me how. And that started about 4 years in. And I did that with teaching for a long time. And then the agency, the booking travel got took too much time. So I had to decide between teaching and booking travel. So I took this route, and I'm glad I did. I do miss teaching, though. Oh my gosh, Mike listened to the first 3. I bet it sounded way different because I had like my dad's old leftover stuff back in the day. But it was, I stand behind those shows because it's all from the heart, and it's not always about the quality. It's about just having fun. And we sure had fun. We still do. That's why we do this. Marlessa, hello. Look out. Joey Jones is everywhere. 37th round pick by the Tigers in 2014 for Mahomes. I think the guy will make it. I have faith. I think he'll do great things. Marlessa's 24 days. She's right after me, too. Oh, my gosh. The month of February is going to be a big one for people. Oh my gosh. Justin is on the porch of Crystal Palace. Everybody, you can picture it. What's he seeing? The castle. Look to his left, Adventureland. Look to his right. You can almost smell the hot dogs from Casey's. Oh, maybe hear the guy playing the piano if he's out there. It's kind of late in the day. Maybe. Look around. Where's Mahomes? Where's Mahomes? Oh my gosh. Kim's got a solo trip in 4 days. Friday. You're going to have so much fun. It's awesome. There are lots of lizards. We're not. We were all ran this morning. We're all good little lizards and ran this morning. I don't know what number Rikki started on, but it was early. Here she is, speaking of the devil. We're live, by the way. So censor yourself.
I'll try to. It's been a crazy day.
Maggie's taking a friend who wants to drink around the world to Epcot.
You gotta love when work.
Always a fun idea.
There's a project at you at
but
4 o'clock.
Ryan's got 29 days. Hang on one second. I'm just reading these things.
Oh.
Yes, pretty much ballad of Lonely Mike for a while.
Daisy.
Oh, Amy's asking about the Star Wars or Marvel cruises. I don't like Marvel. I've never seen a Marvel movie. I do Star Wars every time.
Well, that's you. Hi.
Concierge are, I mean, it's like at a hotel. You're gonna have services. You got like a private lounge up there. You have somebody take care of things for you. To me, I know Lynn Tess is a huge fan of the concierge cruises. I'm not, just because the cruises are expensive enough, and like, to me, being on a cruise ship's like concierge. Like, it's so nice. Like, it's about the nicest thing I can ever do. So I don't know if I need that extra level, but I get it. I mean, it's fun. That's right. Missouri with the Lombardi Trophy and the Stanley Cup. If you're looking for championship trophy, and we're the only right now. This is a fun fact, and we'll start. So going. Fun fact: Missouri is the only state in the United States right now that has a major sports championship trophy. Out of the 4 majors, we're the only state. Now, how is that, you say? Because what about basketball and what about baseball, right? Well, here's the deal. We have the football one. We have Lombardi. We have the Stanley Cup. The NBA champions, the Toronto Raptors, Canada.
Right.
The baseball champions are the Washington Nationals. They're not in a state. They're in
Oh, my goodness.
So what up? Come to Missouri. We got it all.
They're not in a state, technically.
Not that this Midwest state needs something to brag about, but I'm telling you, when we get this, we're rolling with it all the way.
Got it.
All right.
Got it. I am. Hey, that is an awesome idea. Let's get started. Sorry. Again, my bad. I
get it.
Like I said, 4 o'clock, I had a project. And then, of course, I did the project wrong the first time. And I was like, no.
Don't tell me that. Don't tell me you did it wrong. I hate when I do like a whole quote and it's like, oh, dang.
It was awful. I was almost done with the first half of it. And I'm like, I did this all wrong. Dang it. So I had to go back and do it all over again.
Joanne should give some feedback, though, on the concierge, because she's done that. And I haven't. I just know like what I've been trained, but I mean, I've never like sailed there. So somebody was asking Joanne about the concierge. So what are your thoughts? Because you have better information than me, I promise. Okay. So it's $15.99. Think about what you want to do for $1,600 for Friday.
Whoa, $1,600.
I'm saying, dude.
All right. Y'all, we need help. So y'all drop in your ideas. Trust me.
Yeah, it's actually Kansas City is in Missouri. He did blow that last night, the president. We hate Kansas. I mean, I love my friends in Kansas, but we hate the board and rectangle to our left on the map. We just like beating them in sports. There's a big rivalry. And so we don't like him throwing compliments that way when it's not rightfully earned. Missouri people. Anyway, okay.
There is a Kansas City, Kansas.
There is. It's like a little, 7 people live there, I think.
Yes.
It's tiny. So that's as political as I want to get on the show. So let's roll. Let's do $15.99. I got a Carmack, I think. Oh, wait. Yeah, I did. Hang on. Man, I'm hungry. Okay.
Sorry.
That's good. Because we were talking about food before we got here.
Of course you were. I'd expect nothing less.
Was our listeners?
Yeah. Sure.
All right. Here we go. $15.99. Welcome to episode 1599 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you from the home of the Lombardi Trophy and the Stanley Cup. That's right, Missouri, this state in the middle of the country, which some people can find a little easier than others on the map. But we are a nice little state that has champions around here. So to all of our friends out west in Kansas City, congratulations on your NFL championship this year. The Chiefs brought it home. Great game last Sunday, but I know not all of our listeners are big fans of football. I know a lot of them are, but a lot of them aren't. So we're going to talk Disney. That's kind of what we do here as we approach 1,600 episodes on Friday. So joining me today to answer your listener questions, as we do here every Wednesday, we have Rikki from a DisneyWorldAfterAll.com, touringplans.com, and the Mouse for Less. What's up, Rikki?
Just, trying to get through another week, getting ready for a big, fantastic weekend. So it's going to be rough getting through the rest of this week because I've got just a phenomenal weekend planned. So, yeah.
So for that weekend, you're heading down to, is that the thing you're going to go to with?
Correct. With Jodie Benson. So the voice of Ariel. Yes.
Ariel. One of the
I met Belle last time.
Right.
But yeah, I am meeting Jodie Benson on Sunday night. And so it's going to be a crazy, crazy day. I am sure tears will happen. But yeah, so going to Walt Disney World this weekend and going to get a little Festival of the Arts action in this weekend. So make sure you are following along on the Be Our Guest Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, because I can guarantee you I will be posting all over the place. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun weekend.
If you're headed to Walt Disney World this weekend, chances are it's probably going to rain. So just know.
Yeah, it'll
probably rain.
This is probably true. Let's hope it's not cold, but I haven't checked the weather forecast. I should probably do that while I'm sitting here. But yeah, it's probably going to be, chilly for Florida and also rainy. So yeah, let's see here. Let's find out.
It's going to be 75.
Oh, it's going to be 70 and sunny. Hey, I can handle that. Like 72.
There'll be a hurricane by then.
Yeah, exactly. 72, 78, 76. I am good with that. That's awesome. That's perfect weather. So yeah, we'll be good.
So getting me ready for Festival of the Arts. I get to go down in a few weeks. So watch that coverage on the social media. But let's get to we're going to start off with a game of the Karnak. We have a good one today from listener Dennis in Cape May. He says, let me look in the envelope. Fake envelope.
Yeah.
Here's the 3. Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor. Winnie the Pooh's favorite snack and planning a trip with the Magic for Less Travel. Ooh, we got a plug.
Oh, winning ideas.
What is a show that is funny? A bucket of honey and a great way to save money.
Nice. Yeah, I like it.
I like it. Very good. I got a plug and we even got some fun there. So that's a good one. All right, let's get to the first question of the day. And I got to go back into here. The title is Skyliner Hotel Lounge or Head to Trader Sam's. Hey, Mike, Pam, and Rikki. We're headed to the world at the end of March and staying at Pop Century for 4 nights. We have 6 adults and 2 preteens. Our first day there is a non-park day. 4 of us, the adults in our 30s and 40s, want to hit up a fun and lively bar in the evening, but not too late as we're headed to the parks Monday morning. My first thought was to Uber over to the Polynesian and hit up Trader Sam's, but then I thought, what about taking the Skyliner? So wondering if you guys have any questions on somewhere fun at the Riv, as Mike likes to say, or at Caribbean Beach, or do we stick with Trader Sam's, which we have not been to before? Thanks for all you do. Missy is in Indiana. Rikki, if this was your spot, you're there with some friends hanging out.
Yes.
Nice tall glass of milk.
Right. Exactly.
Yes. Where are you going to go?
I really was thinking Trader Sam's as well. I think the atmosphere just can't be beat. Even if you're sitting on the back patio out there, it's a fantastic place to go. You don't get as fun of an atmosphere outside as you do inside, of course, but sometimes it can be difficult to get inside. So just keep that in mind. If you're going to do one of the Skyliner lounges, there's Banana Cabana, which is at Disney's Caribbean Beach. And it is a fantastic outdoor lounge. It's covered, so you don't have to worry about, getting rained on or anything like that. But it is not huge. And also just like keep in mind that it's outdoors. So, I mean, you're going to definitely, kind of have like if it's cold out like it was when we were there at Christmas, it's going to be chilly, there. So just keep that in mind as well. But yeah, I still think I would go to Trader Sam's though.
I was
The
thinking,
Riviera doesn't really have, I don't know. I'm trying to think what lounges over there that's really they have like an area that's like a coffee bar, but it's really small, and I know they serve drinks in the evening, but it's not anything like huge, and they have the area next door where you can go sit at. But again, I feel like that's more of a place where people go and maybe do work, it feels like, more than anything else. So it doesn't have a really great loungy atmosphere. So I'm still going to go with Trader Sam's, I think.
and that's what I was going to say too, because you're going to have ample time in that week to ride the Skyliner, which, I mean, the Skyliner is kind of the fun part of it all. But I mean, also, I mean, think about it. And Ryan's right. He's got it in our chat.
Yeah.
You can't beat the Disney aspect of Trader Sam's. It is
right.
And it's worth the work. But here's the thing, like, it depends. Like, if you're kind of tired and want to do something quick, just get on the Skyliner, head over to the Riviera, the Caribbean Beach. It's easier.
It is.
If you're willing to put in the work, I think overall you're going to have a better experience at Trader Sam's. Also probably a little bit more expensive.
That's right. Ryan also mentioned Bar Riva, which I completely forgot about because I walked right past. I took a couple pictures of it and then walked right past it. So yeah, I forgot about that, which is an actual bar. But again, it's more of like a pool bar kind of atmosphere. And I think Trader Sam's is more the way to go. Yeah.
All right. We have some feedback from a show. Let's see here. It says RIP Meisner's Lounge and missed BOG opportunities. Hey, Mike and Rikki, I'm a longtime listener and appreciate what you guys do, but I'm sorry, you guys are all wrong on the pronunciation, which I get it, man. I know I'm wrong on a lot of stuff. I do the best I can. It's Meisner, not Misner. See, but you got to realize my school is Mizzou, M-I-Z-Z-O-U. I just put it together, so because he phonetically wrote it out, and I'm like, anything with M-I-Z-Z, like it's just anything close is going to be Miz with Mizzou, but it's Meisner's. He says the lounge is named after prolific Florida architect Addison Meisner. He's an architect in South Florida and works frequently in Boca Raton, the city which Meisner planned. In Boca, you'll find Meisner Park, pronounced Meisner Park, not Misner Park. This is also why it is spelled as Meisner's, the possessive noun, and he's got a picture of it. You can look it up on Wikipedia. It's beautiful down there, the park.
Interesting.
I mean, it's in Florida. Like, it's just seeing palm trees. I love it.
Yeah.
And secondly, he says, I've listened to a lot of podcasts over the years. I've never heard anyone talk about traveling with their furry little friends. Puppies go everywhere with me, and I'd love to hear more about on and off-site hotels that allow pets and what others do with their pets while they're out and about in the world. Nobody seems to talk about this with any kind of knowledge. Would love to hear more about this. Thank you, Chris. But I haven't really we did a April Fool's episode on it.
Yes, we did.
You probably shouldn't take that as fact.
No, definitely not.
But that's a good idea. I've never traveled with pets, but I mean, I do run it. I run a lot at Riverside and at Pop Century, which Art of Animation is a pet friendly resort.
Yes.
Riverside is as well. So I've seen people bring their dogs out, but I've always wondered, like, and I love, like, we're getting this week, we have Riley. So you'll probably see, because Paige is on a 2-city road trip with Mizzou this week, so we get the dog sit the grand dog, so it's awesome. But like, I just don't know, like, what I would do with the dog while I'm there. I don't know if I'd leave it in the hotel room. I would love to hear feedback on this, so give us some. So if you have some, email us.
I have some ideas. Since I do have Daisy now, I have been kind of thinking about what I'm going to be doing. Now, before I had the 3 cats, and most places are not cat friendly, so I couldn't really bring the cats with me. Now, I have brought them down before. I bring Meow Meow sometimes because she has diabetes, and so when I stay with my brother, I do bring the cat down with me, and she does really well in the car. I just put her in the crate, and she actually just goes to sleep, and she stays asleep pretty much the whole 7-hour drive, which is fantastic. I have another cat that does not stay asleep on long drives, and completely destroyed a cage before because even though I drugged him, it still didn't work. So I have traveled with cats many times, and it just depends on your cat. So just keep that in mind. But most places don't accept cats. Most hotels don't, which is quite unfortunate. having a cat that's diabetic, it makes my life a little more difficult. So I do have to, have somebody come and watch the cats while I am away. I can't even have her boarded. She just freaks out too much. So that's kind of what I do with my cats. Now, as far as the dog is concerned, I haven't brought Daisy down yet. I will be bringing her down in a couple of weeks for her first road trip, and then I'll be bringing her down again. Now, again, usually I stay with my brother, but I do know that, of course, Disney has some hotels that are pet friendly. There is also the Best Friends pet care facility that is on Walt Disney World property. If you search them, you'll find out lots of information about what they will do for your animals. So you can have them stay in the room with you, or you can take them to the Best Friends pet care facility, and they will take care of them there. There are some off-property hotels that do allow for pets. There are pet fees that are associated with those, so just keep that in mind. They do tend to vary as well. The pet fee tends to vary depending on the hotel. Brian works for Hyatt, so we oftentimes stay at Hyatt's. So I was looking for Daisy, and if you stay at a Hyatt Regency or something like that,
That's where I was this weekend, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. It cost, I think we looked it up, $150 for her to stay with us, versus if we stay at a Hyatt Place, which is there a little lesser, not quality, but lesser of a
$150
hotel.
extra for the dog?
Yes, that's at a Regency, and I think that was up to 7 days, up to 6 days. If you bring her to the Hyatt Place, though, it's only $75, and it's for the 7 days. So that's, you just kind of want to look to see kind of what hotels offer in their way of their pet policy. As well, I will be bringing my cage with me for Daisy. Now, Daisy is a crated dog for the most part, so she stays in her crate when we're out, when we're away, or when we're sleeping. So we haven't done the, let the dog sleep with us yet thing. We'll probably have her sleep in her crate as well, like when we go to hotels and things like that. So that's kind of where we're at as far as like pets and what we're going to plan on doing. So hopefully that helps anybody who has pets that they want to travel with. Maybe someday we will bring Daisy to a Walt Disney World hotel. Who knows? And maybe we will, take her to the Best Friends pet facility. It just kind of depends on how well she does as she grows. I mean, she's still a little pup, so,
sounds good.
See how that goes.
So if you have feedback, you've done it, and just let us know the logistics of like how your days work out, going to the parks with the dog, staying outside. Just send me an email. Don't make it, a 7 chapter book. But
like I just did?
No, that's fine. I'm just saying, because you probably get a bunch, because when people are dog lovers, like they tend to love talking about their stuff.
True.
I get it, because that's Paige, and I love that.
That's true. Yes. I would also say, like, of course, make sure you have food and, bowls and things like that. And make sure you have potty pads, because you never know what can happen. So just in case there are accidents, I would rather err on the side of caution. So, just keep that in mind too.
All right. Sean's got a question in the live chat here. We usually record around 5:45 Eastern on the Facebook page on Monday, so drop on in. He says, planning a road trip to Kansas City this spring. Super Bowl champs are there, by the way. We are thinking of a side trip to Marceline, Missouri. Any must-dos while we're there. Marceline's awesome, but you got to temper your expectations. It's small. It's in the middle of nowhere, too. There's nothing around it.
Nope.
We spent the night there on our anniversary one time at a bed and breakfast. It's the Uptown Theater. Walt premiered a movie there, the Great Train some Great Train Locomotive or Chase or something. They're so nice in Marceline. They let us even mess with the projector, to mess with the movie thing. Like Walt ran that actual thing, and they're just letting us play with it. So that's pretty cool. There's a great museum there in the train station, right along the train tracks. Probably 2 hours to go through if you go slow. It's not huge, but it's pretty awesome. And, you can kind of see, if you use your mind's eye, a little Main Street USA action going on with Kansas Street. It's called. It's neat, but it's not huge. It's not commercialized at all. You got to kind of you can go to the Walt Disney Elementary School, which is down the road. You can see where the Autopia once was, the junior Autopia. But if you have questions, I would combine that with your KC stuff, and I'd get a hold of one of the parishes, Matt or Nate. They know all the Kansas City sites to see.
Definitely. Yeah. Marceline is still on all the time I lived in St. Louis, it was on my bucket list, and we just never got there. So maybe someday when, we go back on visit or something like that will make us stop in Marceline. But now it seems lesser and lesser since, my family will be moving out of St. Louis here soon, and all we'll have left is Brian's family, and they don't necessarily live in St. Louis proper. So
Closer to Marceline.
they live in Jefferson City. So maybe we can head over there on a trip, a quick side trip or something like that. But yeah, I never.
It's worth it. I mean,
absolutely.
It's just so not like Walt Disney World.
I just saw some friends of mine were actually visiting Marceline, which was kind of cool to see it through their eyes because they had never been. So, I mean, they just went like this past week. So it was really cool to see kind of what their thoughts were of visiting Marceline and seeing the town and everything like that.
If you're not a huge Disney fan, though, you're going to be like,
"Oh no,
what? Why am I? Why am I in the middle of Missouri? Like, where there's nothing." I mean, seriously, like I love Missouri, but if you're not a Disney fan, you're going to be like, "Man, can we go to a bigger town like Columbia?" Right? Columbia is probably the biggest. The nearest large town, and Columbia is not big, but you'd be begging to go to Columbia because there's restaurants. I'm just saying. All right, next question says Disney travel question from Molly Ann says, "Hey, BOGP crew." And particularly Rikki, who may be the best one to answer this question. That's what
I don't know about this. This is putting a lot of pressure on me. Right. I don't know.
My husband and I are going to Disney at the end of this month for our first ever kids-free trip. We're going all out, staying at Bay Lake Tower and doing the deluxe dining plan. But one thing we don't have figured out is a place to stay on our last night. We're checking out of Bay Lake on our last day and then heading to Animal Kingdom for the day. Just dropped my my BOGP chip from Georgia, including an 8:00 dinner at Tiffin's. Rather than driving home to North Georgia that night, we'd like to find somewhere convenient and affordable to stop and sleep before heading home the next morning. Any advice on someplace in the Orlando area or up to 1 to 2 hours away as we head north on I-75? Thanks, Molly Ann.
Got it. I see why I'm the right person for this question.
Drive home to North Georgia.
Oh man, I know that drive. So again, like I said, we usually stay at Hyatt's because they're free for us for the most part. Although we do have to pay sometimes. So anytime we can find a Hyatt place along the way, that's where we tend to stay. So it depends on what time you're leaving and how far you want to get on the road. But like I said, Hyatt places are usually where we end up staying. We know they're nice. They have free breakfast, for the most part, and that's kind of where we end up going.
So here's what we did back in the day, and I can't believe I'm still married and I can't believe my wife actually let us do this. But I mean, back before I was, when I was scared to fly and I wouldn't fly and we drove down every time in the summer. I mean, this is like, I mean, we're talking to huge fans just like us. We'd be there for a week, 8-9 days, but we'd still like the last day we would stay at the Magic Kingdom until it closed. And I'm talking like 11, 12 o'clock. Like we're in the park all day having fun. It's that last day, like you don't take breaks. You try to squeeze in everything. It's summer. It's hot as anything. And the deal was like, we were already checked out of our hotel. We had the car loaded. So we'd take the bus back to the hotel, whatever hotel it was. We're already checked out. All our stuff's in the car. Get in the car. We'd always drive to Gainesville. I think about 2 hours north.
Yeah, that's about 2 hours. Yeah.
And then what we would do is always get a hotel in Gainesville. I don't know. Like I thought, like the thing was, it was a 14-15 hour drive for us home. And for some reason, like in my brain, if I could get those first 2 hours under my belt, it made the next day easier for us.
And really, honestly, Florida is a lot longer to get through than you think it is.
I know. I used to think, yes, we're in Florida. We're there. No, man, it's 3 hours.
It's awful. You think it's going to be like 2. And then you hit that extra third hour and you're like, no. So you get to, I think it's to about Gainesville. And then you're just like, oh, I'm not hitting the turnpike yet.
No, Ocala's money. When you hit Ocala, you're like, oh yeah.
Yes. You feel much better when you hit Ocala. So yeah, it's just, Florida is the most deceptively worst state when you're just trying to get to Orlando. You're just like, I just want to get there. So all right,
here we go. We're gonna do some rapid questions. We have a bunch in the chat room. Backing up here, Lori Lee says, I will be checking into the Riv on Saturday. About how long does it take to get from the Riv to Hollywood Studios via the Skyliner?
Easy. Well, you have to go
probably quicker than it was answering that last question.
That's true. Exactly. You have to go to Caribbean Beach. And get off at Caribbean Beach, and then you have to go to Hollywood Studios from the Caribbean Beach, like port.
I would say number-wise, 15 minutes on the long side, probably 10.
Yeah, I would say it's probably closer to 10, unless there's a line at the Skyliner station, which sometimes there can be, but most of the time you can get on pretty quickly. So it just depends on if there's a backup or something. If like the Skyliner had gone down recently, not down, but you know what I'm saying, like if it had a delay for a few minutes or something like that, then
Also, best place to get pictures with the Star Wars Run Disney race medals, of course.
Oh yes,
Falcon. I mean, come on, that's money right there. But anywhere that too.
Which did not exist when I ran the Star Wars half. So yes. I mean, so this is the first year that they're going to be able to do it in Batu. I mean, literally anywhere in Batu. That's where I would go.
Do you know how long the line's going to be in front of the Falcon?
Oh my gosh, it's going to be ridiculous. Absolutely 100%. I am also going to suggest in front of Star Tours. You can do there.
Yes.
Now, where I did mine was actually because I made sure I took special photos. I did mine in front of the Star Wars lunch bay. I thought that was because that was one of the few places I could go at that point. So we did that. You could always go into the Star Wars lunch bay and have your photo taken with Chewbacca. Or you could do Kylo Ren, which would also be a fun experience. It's still Kylo Ren, right? No, did they go back to Darth Vader?
No, I think it's Kylo still.
Okay. I think it is still Kylo. Maybe now I'm questioning myself.
Disneyland is Darth Vader for some reason. I don't know though. I'm not positive.
Right. Anyway, one of those people. So you could do that, or with BB-8 because BB-8's there too. So that would be kind of what I would do if it was me. I go to Batu, then go into the Star Wars launch bay and get photos in there.
Yep, and I try to like photobomb a stormtrooper, like
yes.
just selfie. That'd be fun. Yes. Let's see here. Next, Morgan's got a question. Hey, Mike and Ricky, what are recommendations for some fun things to do on the Disney Dream for 3 nights? My first Disney cruise will be in September, and my fiance and I want to squeeze in all that we can since it'll be part of our honeymoon.
Oh, lit it up.
So here's the thing, and I've said this for years. Do the little things.
Yes.
This is, to me, cruises are all. I know, like, you don't see this stuff on the planning videos, and I know people don't go on cruises to play game shows or do tastings of like whiskey or wine or tequila or what, mixology classes. I don't do that stuff in real life, and I get the biggest kick out of that. I love finding the club. He's called the club host. He or she.
Yes.
The club host is in charge of activities for the adults.
Yes.
And I mean, get to know that person immediately.
Absolutely.
They're going to steer you in the right direction. There'll be theme nights to dance in the clubs. And I know, like, you might think I'm not a club person.
Absolutely.
In Missouri, I'm not a club person either. But on the cruise, it's all so much fun.
Silent disco is the best thing ever. Like, you think it's going to be so dumb, and then you start hearing the music, and you're like, this is awesome.
And I was explaining silent. I was talking about a Disney cruise this weekend at the cheer competition with some of the moms, and I was saying, I was trying to explain like what a cruise is, exactly what this question is about. Like, there's so much fun stuff you would never do in the real life. And I said, we did this thing called the silent disco. And I stood back during the last cruise and I took video of the club of everybody dance. It's silent in there, but everybody's like, yeah. Exactly. It's the craziest thing. But like, when are you going to do that? Like, do that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yes, and the shows at night, like the like you were talking about with the club hosts, those are always so much fun. They're usually in the adult section, so those are a blast to get to do. Make sure you actually enjoy deck 4 or the adult area, like that up in the front of the ship with Satellite Falls. That's a good place to go too. Just bring a book and read. Like, I know that that's so like basic, but I absolutely get more reading done on a cruise than I do any other time. And I love to read, and I don't ever have time to do it. And it makes me so sad. So bring a good book with you, or a couple, because you'll definitely, even on a 3-night cruise, you'll still be able to have time to like carve out and just sit and read, because those are the things that are so peaceful. Get room service. I think that that's a really good thing in the morning to do. That way you can take your time a little bit more leisurely. You don't have to worry about stressing to go get breakfast or something like that.
You do both. You have a room.
That's true. You can do both. You can have first breakfast and then second breakfast. If you're on a cruise, why not? But there's just something about having that coffee delivered to my room in the morning, so I don't have to send Brian out to go get it, because I'm certainly not going to get it the way I look in the morning. So, and then make sure you tip your room service person, though, because you do have to tip them. So just keep that in mind. That's something that not a lot of people who've done
you should bring like 5s and 1s, because I'm short on that, and you can't really get it on the ship.
Exactly. So make sure you have money to tip room service if you do room service. But explore the ship. I think that that's kind of the key. Like the very first day, once you get on the ship, really just do a good exploration of where things are. That way, you'll have your bearings a lot faster than you would if you just kind of get on the ship and start doing like other things first. But seriously, you're gonna want to make sure you get your bearings first. So that's kind of my big tip for first timers as well.
Perfect. And while you're waiting to board the ship, you'll have that navigator study it,
Yes.
everything you want to do that first day, and then just look on the app for the next days, or
Like, I think you can ask at the front desk for navigators too.
Yeah. That's deck 3 midship guest services.
Yes.
All right, Jessica's got a question. I currently have 2 trips planned for 2020. I have a 3-day pass for Princess Weekend, and I'm thinking about upgrading to an annual pass while I'm there. I want to upgrade one the first day to take advantage of the discounts. Will upgrading on day 1 of my trip mess with my current fast pass selections? Negative. You're good. As long as you have ticket media on there and a room reservation, you're good.
Yep.
Also, once I upgrade to the AP, will I have access to all my memory maker photos taken during the trip? Yes. Yep. We're full of good news on that one.
We are. Yeah.
Good. That's good, because sometimes we have to give sad news and it's never fun.
I know. It's not as much fun.
And also, Jeff gives a great tip on the Star Wars pictures. Ogas. Dude, what about Rex? Like,
yeah.
Get Rex behind you with your medal. That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Let's see. Christina says, I like the spelling of her name. Are Skyliners running early enough to rope drop? Yes, in most cases. Now, not for like getting there super, super, super early for a boarding group for Rise, but you can rope drop on the Skyliner Studios and Epcot. But again, Epcot's going to dump you into International Gateway.
Right.
So it depends there's not much open back in that into the park.
Until Ratatouille opens.
Well, yeah, Ratatouille. Then it'll be the hat.
But that's the summer. So yeah.
All right. Next question's from Katie. Going next week and taking my almost 1-year-old son for his first trip. So I didn't get to go when I was 1. My kid did. I didn't. I'm so jealous. Do you know if the playground in Epcot is open during food and wine?
That is open during
food and wine. She's basically asking if the food and wine playground's open during Festival of the Arts. Is there a playground open down there right now?
Oh, that is a very good question. And I'm not entirely sure. I know the one on the path to like by Imagination and all that one is not open. I'm certain of that. The one that could be open is the one that would be over by Test Track. That one possibly, but I'm not entirely sure because I haven't seen anybody take any pictures of it. So
plus with all the construction and demolition, like this may be the year they don't do a playground.
Right.
A lot of roped out, like walled off areas in Future World.
Ryan is saying that he thinks the playground is still there. So I know he knows a lot. So I tend to believe him. So I'm going to say possibly. I don't think that they take it down. Let's put it that way. I think that it kind of stays there. So I would assume that it's probably there for Festival of the Arts, but I'm not 100% sure on it.
Here's the deal. We probably have somebody listening live right now in Epcot.
Right. Just let us know.
At Be Our Guest Mike. Just tweet it and I'll follow me on Twitter and I'll just retweet the answer so that you'll know by the time you go.
I'll of course be there this weekend, but I think that it might be too late. So I'll go and look this weekend to see if it is there, and I'll let you all know too. So.
All right, Donald's got a question. Trying to convince my wife to take the family, 7 of us, to Walt Disney World instead of Disneyland for Christmas. They live in Seattle. Do you feel free dining will drop for November or December? That might be the decision maker. We went last December, just us. It was amazing. Any thoughts? So obviously we get this question quite a bit at the agency. Free dining will come out if Disney is struggling to fill rooms in the resorts. Mm-hmm. If the rooms are pretty full, and I don't know what the number is, but I will, I do book travel every day. And so I see when availability is soft and when availability is getting tough. Right now, I would say, because we're still pretty far out, obviously, I would say it's booking at about the same rate as it has the past few years, late 2020. So I would say that it could. But I mean, the thing is, Disney's doing things a lot differently in the last year to 18 months, kind of smaller chunks. Like if you saw the last free dining offer, it was for, I think, 11 nights. You know, it wasn't like in the, 5 years ago, they would drop free dining for 3 months.
Exactly. And it would be a full 3 months too. It
Mhm.
wouldn't just be like this chunk of nights here and this chunk of nights here and this chunk of nights there. So yeah, it definitely was a lot different in the past than it has been in recent, times. So yeah.
So what I would say, again, this is just my being pragmatic about things. If you're thinking about going, book the package. It's a $200 deposit. You're locked in. You have the availability, you have the room, you have the package. And then you're going to know well before that final payment date at 31 days prior, whether you have free dining or not. Then you can make the call at that point. And if it's not going to work out economically, cancel it, get that $200 back, no harm, no foul. But don't wait until like August or September to try to book a December trip, November trip. It could be rough. I would do it now.
Yeah, absolutely.
The rooms are there. Let's see here. Mike in the chat. I love this. Just finished writing Rise of Resistance. Whoa. What an experience. Celebrating with a beer.
I think that sounds like a good plan. Good for you, Mike. Yeah.
I love it.
Actually, my brother who lives in Orlando, obviously, just finally rode Rise of the Resistance on Friday. And he got up early, got to the park at 5 a.m. And or maybe it was a little later than that, but he got there really early and he was in boarding group like 35. And that was the day that they had so much trouble. Yep. I mean, you would think you'd get through like he told me, he texted me, he's like, I got 35, and I'm like, oh, you'll get through that real quick. And then he didn't get on until maybe 2, 3 it was like 4 in the afternoon before he finally got on that day, because it was right before I got off work. So yeah, he said he did everything at Hollywood Studios and was like begging for things to do at that point because he'd been there for so long and the ride just wasn't working. But once he got off it, he was impressed. So it's a really great attraction, and he even said he was thinking about getting up early the next morning to go back and do it again. So that's high praise from someone who lives in Orlando.
It is awesome. Do you think Patrick Mahomes? What boarding group do you think Patrick Mahomes got today?
I think he got the cast member boarding group where he got backdoored into whatever he wanted.
Oh no, I'm sure he was there at 5:30 with the.
Yeah, I'm sure he was.
Man, I got to get my phone ready. I got the app ready to go. I'm a little sore from last night's game, but I think I can hit that button at 7:00.
Exactly. I'm sure he did. Yeah. No going through the back door, on that one.
No, he's like, I'm just a common guy. I'm from Missouri, after all.
Exactly.
He's from Texas, but whatever. Hannah says she has a question here in the inbox. Hey, BOGP team. We are big Run Disney fans, but this year our trip isn't overlapping with a race. She won't know she won't know what to do. Not getting.
No kidding.
That's crazy. We're starting to feel like we're totally missing out. We've seen lots of blogs about $15 low frills fun runs at different Disney resorts. Nothing seems to be on Disney's website. Any insight on if these still exist? We're going to be down next week, February 5 through 9. So that's this week. And are looking to start a morning or two with a fun run, but we're only going into the parks. Any guidance is appreciated. Hannah. So what about those? They're still going on.
They are. I have some great news for you. We actually have a fantastic blog post on the Mouse for Less written by our very own Bob and Pat, and it details every single fun run race that is held at the Walt Disney World Resort. So it includes cost, it includes where it is, it includes the time, it includes everything. They did such a fantastic job on this blog post. So I would absolutely go check out the Mouse for Less. Check the blog section and search for fun runs, I think is the best keyword to probably search for.
All righty. And Bob had to duck out, so he'll have to hear that on the feed. All right, yes. Bob, thanks. All right, next question. Help me, BOGP crew. You're my only hope.
Uh-oh. Are we?
And when we are, that's just not good. It's from North Carolina. Hey, Mike, Rikki, and Pam. Have been listening to the show for 2 years and love it. I have 2 quick questions for you. After only 7 years, I finally decided to pull the trigger on a Run Disney race, and I'm planning on the Wine and Dine half marathon. My question revolves around lodging. If we stay at the beach club and I'm typically a 2:10 half marathoner, is the park open for me to walk back immediately after the race, or would I have to wait for official park open? All right, so now I got to do some calculations. Great. I hate that when there's math. Okay, so 2:10 half marathoner. The race will start approximately 5:30.
Right.
6:30, 7:30. By the time you get all your stuff and pass through, get your medals, your Gatorade, your food box, and your banana. You're gonna have to wait.
It depends on what corral they're in too.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I'm thinking he's gonna be up for 210. He'll be up in.
He may not have to wait long though. The park will be open by 9. I mean, and they may let in a little bit early.
Yeah, usually a little bit early.
So you might be able to at least get in the park and like plant yourself in a position where you can walk back a little bit easier.
Here's the hack. You go to that little Joffrey's donut stand right there outside the gates.
That's true.
Get a coffee and a donut and just wait it out.
That's true.
20 minutes. You just ran a half marathon. Eat the pink donut.
Eat the donut. Yeah, exactly.
All right, second question. Any chance you guys will think Rise of the Resistance will be fast passed by November? There's a 0% chance my wife will get up early enough for us to get a boarding group. Thanks for all your help and keeping the magic alive between trips, Will. I'm about to sneeze, so I'm trying.
I know you keep messing with your nose. What is it?
Sneeze in the worst way. I don't want to sneeze. Okay, so I think this is another bad news thing. I don't think
by November.
I don't know, man. I don't think that thing's ever gonna get fast pass. It's like I don't know. Maybe it'll calm down.
Yeah. I mean, I assume that by November they're probably going to have some sort of fast pass situation going on there. Now, what it will be, we have no idea at this point. It's all up in the air as to what is going to go on with fast pass, what the tiers would be like, what anything like that would be like. So we're still too early to know at this point. But I would suspect that we will probably get fast pass at least by that point, by November. Yeah, as some way, shape, or form. Let's put that way.
I had to throw down a bet. I bet $100 we don't have it in November.
Oh, you're on.
You want to bet $100?
I would bet you $100.
No, we're not betting $100 because I don't have $100. Next time we're together at Walt Disney World, a dessert.
Okay, deal. But it would have to be after November because. So it'll have to be next year.
We'll just have to remember. We'll be there after November.
I know. Okay. So y'all have to keep us honest, and we have to. If this happens, you have to remind us.
I know. Let's not forget. But I know by the end of November. I don't know when this trip is. Let's say by December 1st.
All right. By December 1st, y'all have to.
Will not be fast pass.
There will be fast pass.
Okay. There we go. All right.
All right.
Last question of the day. It's an easy one here. Well, it's actually kind of a creative one. Mackenzie in our live chat says fun solo ideas for a 30th birthday trip on your birthday. So Mackenzie's going to be there solo.
Awesome.
On her 30th birthday.
Awesome. I got it. The backstage magic tour. The one that takes you to all 3 parks. Yeah. Yes. That is a fantastic 30th birthday present, I think, for yourself. 100%. That's what I would do. Especially if you're solo. That is exactly what I would do. Yeah,
because it's all about experiences. It's about tours. I mean, that's the ultimate one for the kind of overall Disney theme parks fan. I mean, if you're an animal person, maybe do one of the Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, there's the Caring for Giants one, which is the elephant one, and then there's the hippo one. Hippo? No, not hippo. Rhinoceros one. Why was I thinking hippo?
Some big old animal.
Big animal. Rhinoceros one. So you can do that one too. They have lots of great tours at Magic Kingdom or Epcot that you can participate in as well. But I mean, I would go for the big granddaddy one. I'm going for the backstage magic one. That's what I'm doing.
Or, some people want to do this. Some people don't. That might be an epic day to do like 4 parks in one day if you're solo. Because I mean, that's the opportunity. When you're on a solo trip, that's the opportunity to get nuts.
Exactly.
Like do something like 4 parks in a day, or like you said, splurge on something that's expensive. Because guess what? When it's just you only got to pay once.
Exactly.
Because if I want to do something cool, do it when you're down there by yourself.
I can guarantee you, I'm not doing that backstage magic tour with Brian. I mean, I love him and all, but it's expensive. And
for real.
I don't think he'd enjoy it as much as I would. I know he'd enjoy it, but the uber nerd in me would really enjoy it. And he's not at the uber nerd level. He's at a pretty nerdy level at Disney. I've made him, but it's not the uber nerd level. He did enjoy the Keys to the Kingdom though. So he's
a lift nerd.
Mike, that's so bad.
I can't, but I'm a dad.
That is so bad. No.
All right, that's gonna do it. We're not doing this to you anymore. We've held you long enough.
Thank goodness.
That's it. Don't forget, today's episode has been brought to you by our friends over at virtualmickey.com, home of great iPhone apps like Theme Park News Disney Edition, which is kind of hard to get. We're working on it. But Rikki, I just want to throw that in there. And you can also get days to go, which I use every trip. So make sure you get
Yeah.
days to go to count down your days over at virtualmickey.com. But Rikki, just give us a nugget. I like to end the show with like news and stuff that's happening. What's going on?
I know. Well, this is something that I think is very interesting. You may find it interesting as well. The NBA Experience is actually holding a special event for the NBA All-Star Game, which is happening February 14th through the 16th. So in the evening, starting at 6 p.m. all weekend long, they're going to have a live stream of the All-Star events that are going to be taking place, as well as I'm sure the game on whatever night the All-Star Game is. Clearly, I don't know. And then they're going to have a live DJ playing high energy tunes. There's also going to be NBA All-Star swag at the NBA store. And this is the nugget that I think is the most interesting in this, is that the newly opened CityWorks Eatery and Poorhouse will be officially serving guests. So keep in mind, as of the recording of this, they haven't announced the date of the opening of the CityWorks Eatery and Poorhouse. So it's coming. I don't know when, but we're gonna get it opening here soon. So just heads up. I think that's the more interesting nugget than the NBA experience game thing. But also, it just goes to show you that they're like, please come to the NBA experience. We have an All-Star game that you can watch. I don't know who's going to be watching that. But
I just think with the NBA experience is something that like NBA fans are going to love, but I think like people that are on the fence are not going to take the chance to go in. Like, I don't know. I think if you're, it's really towards the hardcore people. I don't think like people that are not hardcore are going to, explore it at that price. If you drop the price, maybe.
No, my coworker actually though, he is trying to plan a trip down to Orlando, and he is an NBA fan, and he's trying to find a way that he can sneakily surprise his girlfriend with, oh look, the NBA experience, let's go in. So like he really wants to go see it, just because we've had conversations about it over and over again about how what a terrible idea the NBA experience is. So yeah, but anyway, if you want to go enjoy the All-Star game, they have lots of stuff for you over there. So, and CityWorks is going to be open.
What's the name of the place?
So it's the CityWorks Eatery and Poorhouse.
Be careful when you pronounce that restaurant name.
Exactly. I know. Ooh, that's tough. But it'll be open at least by February 14th. So that's the big news today.
Speaking of, by the way, we need to throw this in there. You said February 14th. We need situations.
Yes!
Because guess what? Valentine's Day is on a Friday this year. The stars are aligning.
No.
Yes.
No, I won't be in town next Monday.
I know. We're gonna figure it out. We need, is this romantic situation? So if you have a situation down at Walt Disney World, if you have a love question about anything down on your trip, like Trader Sam's after Trail's End, I got the two T's covered. Is that romantic? I'm not sure. Like, will my wife love that? Will my girlfriend? Will my boyfriend? We'll let you know. Is this romantic? We'll give you some advice.
Pam and Mike, though. I'm
No,
sorry.
I'm sorry.
I will be on my way back from meeting Jody Benson. So,
we'll make it happen. There you go. So give us those, Mike at BRGuestPodcast.com. Send in your Is This Romantic right away. We need those soon so we can do one of those shows. All right. Don't forget, you can use the Amazon affiliate link, BRGuestPodcast.com/Amazon. Supports all we do. Give us a follow on the social media, Instagram and Twitter at BRGuestPod and at BRGuestMike, and Facebook.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. All right. We're going to be back again on Friday with more fun Disney talk for episode 1600. The show just keeps going and going like the Energizer Bunny. So for Rikki and Pam, I'm Mike. Wish you a great Wednesday. Time to head back to work, and we'll see you real soon. Save that one. Dun, 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 dun. I have an idea for Fridays. Hang on.
Oh, good.
It was a listener.
Now I'm sad that I won't be there. Oh, well. I'll have fun.
Edited. No, it's not edited, but I will. Okay, so here's the premise.
Okay.
I'll read the email.
Okay. Are you gonna read it on the air? Or are you gonna read it here?
I'm gonna read it on the air for you.
Oh, okay.
It's from Matthew Jones. He titled the email "Clickbait Listener Question."
Oh, okay.
Totally that. But I think we can do a show on. Do you have any news like we could follow up with, kind of like how we did last Friday? That was kind of cool.
It's been a slow-ish news week, but did we talk about the? Hold on. No, the only thing I have is about the Rise of Resistance virtual queue being modified, the window. Unless there's something that happened today that I missed while I was
And we talked.
doing that project at work, and
Okay, so here we go. Okay, we'll figure something out. Here's what it says. It says, "Hey, VOGP team, I have a question that might be best suited for Rikki.
oh God,
I'm a go-to consultant for recommending hotels, resorts to my friends when they travel to Disney World. I try to base my recommendations on their trip's needs, but I often take my friends' personalities into account as well. If you were to write a clickbaity online quiz titled 'Everyone has a Walt Disney World resort that matches their personality, here's yours,'
oh my
what
God.
would your results be? Which personalities seem best suited for which resort? Thank you for all your help over the years." He's from North Carolina.
Interesting.
Now he's in Orange County, California. So he goes to Disneyland, so Walt Disney World. I like this idea.
Okay.
So let's just talk about the Walt Disney World. Some of the resorts, we probably don't have to hit them all, but we could, I guess. We got to do 30 minutes, 35.
We're fine. Yeah.
But yeah, I like it. I like this.
I like
I think this is a show, and we'll have a clickbaity title for the podcast.
I like it.
I'm not thinking that, but I do like it because when I read that, I was like, that's interesting.
That is interesting.
Let me change. I'm going to actually do this for real. Watch this real quick. What is
Oh, thank God Davey's not acting like she was last week.
For your, I should just move the mic so I can actually see what I'm typing.
Yeah. I mean, why would you do that?
I know.
Hi, pretty girl.
There's some clickbait on the bottom. Okay.
Nice.
It is romantic, William, except have fun. William's going to Hong Kong.
That's awesome. Hopefully he gets there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those parks are closed.
Yeah.
I was staying at a hotel. So I was at the Hyatt Regency in Schaumburg, Illinois, and they apparently it's the hotel, I guess, for like all the flight for Turkish Airlines for their flight crews.
Oh.
So they were constantly going in and out. You know, and the cool thing was, like, I haven't flown internationally, so I don't know how this normally is. I just fly Southwest. But like they wear the coolest uniforms. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it looked like straight out of like that movie with Tom Hanks and
yeah.
at the can. Like they're in these awesome uniforms, and the women are the flight attendants have these like, you know, like berets and like these super fancy dresses and high heels. But like everybody was coming in masks. Like it was freaking me out. Like I know that I'm probably not going to get it, but like I was on an elevator with a flight crew, and like they were the only ones, these 4 guys in their, you know, nice uniforms, these suits, but they're the only people, like, of all the flight attendants or flight crews didn't have on masks, and I'm on an elevator with them. I'm like, oh man, I'm probably dead. I mean, because like all the other ones have on masks. I'm like, oh no,
I'm gonna die. It's fine.
No, it was fine. I'm sure it was fine, but it was so cool because, you know, I've never seen like flight crews. I was looking for Jay because I guess like a lot of pilots and flight crews stay there. I was hoping to see him, but cool. You know, just passing through, and it was just cool because it looked like back in probably like 50s or 60s because they were, I mean, just decked out. It looks
yeah, a lot of them stay at Brian's hotel. When I go down there and visit, I'll see a lot of the flight attendants and pilots and things like that, and they're all dressed to their nines. I think they usually are from like Air France.
This was Turkish Airlines, I think.
Yeah,
from what I could tell.
So it's really cool, for sure.
Felt like I was watching one of those like 50s movies.
Yeah,
so neat. Yeah. I gotta fly one of those airplanes one day. That'd be neat. That'd be so cool. I've never flown like anything other than 737, you know, Southwest. So that'd be fun.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. I'll just read that email. They'll lead it in.
Yeah, that'll work.
That is true. William's exactly right. I know Japanese folks and Asian,
That's true.
They're from Asia. A lot of times do wear the masks for, others protection. That's a good point. I was worried though. I was like, if everybody else has them on, like I feel like I'm an American from Missouri up in Schaumburg, Illinois. I don't even know where to buy one. Like, you know, like I could buy one on Amazon, I guess, but it wouldn't be there at the hotel.
Right.
So I just took my chances. But it was, you know, it's just like I'm a guy from Missouri. I'm just not used to seeing that. Like it just made me like I'm just nervous. Of course it's like and they have this hotel, they had this gigantic big screen in the lobby that had like 4 TVs going. It was like a big like wall of monitors, but like basically 4 huge TVs. And of course CNN also talked about coronavirus.
Right. Yeah.
I'm thinking, I do want to go to Tokyo someday.
Hey, someday it's gonna happen. I'm gonna get to Tokyo. I'm mad. My physical therapist is going to Tokyo before me. And she's not a Disney fan, but we talk about it every once in a while. And she's like, the city that she's going to be in is the same city that Tokyo Disneyland is in. And she's like, I may have to make this happen. And I'm like, oh my God, please do. And she said she'd bring me something if she does. So I'm like, yes, please bring me something.
All right, here we go. Let's do this. Here's my voice. Welcome to episode 1600 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you. And thank you. Let me just drop a thank you right here off the top of the show for all the folks who've ever taken the time to download and listen to our show. 1,600 podcasts. I'm telling you, I get to do what I love. This is awesome. I love doing the podcast. And to get to do this, actually, it's over 1,600 shows when you include all the specials we've done, but officially 1,600 episodes. It is a dream come true. So thank you so much for being here today and for downloading all the shows in the past. A lot of folks have been here since March of 2008. It's crazy. So if you've listened to all those shows,
more power to you.
Time you spent listening to shows. It's crazy. So we're going to have fun today. We're going to take this show topic from one of our listeners. We love doing that. So I think you're going to enjoy today's show and you're going to give us hopefully some feedback on Facebook, and we'll kind of have that conversation as we did last weekend over the weekend about the podcast. So joining me today from a DisneyWorldAfterAll.com, touringplans.com, and the Mouse for Less, we have Rikki. Rikki, what's going on?
Hi, I'm getting on a plane tonight to go to Orlando so that I can go enjoy some of the Festival of the Arts and go cry at Jodie Benson and embarrass myself. So it's all fine. But I'm super excited. The event is at Give Kids the World this Sunday. And so I'm so excited to be able to go and get to meet Jodie Benson. Like, I'm telling you, this is going to be ridiculously awesome. So yeah, I mean, Jodie Benson is like, The Little Mermaid is my movie. Like, that's the movie I grew up with. That's the one that really resonated with me. That was it. We had a pool. I would play, The Little Mermaid in the pool. I sang Part of Your World on the talent show. I dressed up as Ariel for Halloween one year. Like, it was just like, it was my movie. I loved it so much. And actually, I just watched The Little Mermaid for the first time with Brian.
You've never seen it? Oh, okay.
No, Brian had never seen it.
Really?
Yes. And because he didn't watch princess movies when he was a kid. So we sat down and watched it a couple of weekends ago, and Brian fell in love with The Little Mermaid. He loves the movie. He loves the soundtrack. He just literally started listening to YouTube, the soundtrack on YouTube all the time now. It's fantastic. He's like, I understand why people like this movie. And I'm like, took you 30 years. Good job, babe. Good job.
You know why I know Little Mermaid so well is that back when it was just came out on VHS DVD, those VHS boxes, like, that's just like a vision of time gone by. I was in high school, and the girl I was dating at the time had a little sister, and that thing was on non-stop. Just the little sister watched it constantly, and of course, you're trying to impress the girlfriend, so you sit there and watch it with everybody, and it's like,
right,
that movie so many times.
Oh my goodness, that's hysterical. Yeah, so Brian had never seen The Little Mermaid, so we sat down and watched it, and then I had the Little Mermaid, that special that they had on ABC a couple of months back. I hadn't watched it yet, so after we watched the movie, then we watched the special. We didn't watch the cartoon parts because we'd just seen that, so we just watched the parts with the actual musical, which I wish that's what they would have done with that in the first place. I wish they would have just done it as a musical, but that's whatever. So anyway, yeah, I got Brian on the Little Mermaid train. Choo choo.
And you get to be part of Jodie Benson's world.
I do. Oh my God, I get to be part of Jody Benson's world. Cool. And yeah. So anyway, make sure you're following along with the Be Our Guest podcast social media. So it's at Be Our Guest Pod on Twitter and Instagram, and it's Be Our Guest Podcast on Facebook. Or you can follow me. I'm at Rikki Nibs on everything. So whatever suits your fancy, you can follow either one.
You know what? We're gonna get to the show topic, but you gotta love, big stars, legends, Disney legends that take the time to support a place like Give Kids the World.
Absolutely.
Doing good in the world. Anytime you support Give Kids the World, that is just amazing. And events like this are it's an incredible. It's just, I love events like this because Disney fans get to have dreams come true. You get to meet people that are, heroes, idols, whatever you want to call them. Exactly. But bottom line is it's going to be helping a lot of families that need to get through tough times in their life.
Absolutely. And Give Kids the World has these events quite frequently, actually. Sometimes they're with Disney princesses, like the last one that I got to go to, which was with Linda Larkin and Paige O'Hara, who were the voice of Belle and Jasmine. So I'm about to hit the trifecta right here, meeting Jody Benson. I know, right? So that's pretty awesome. But sometimes they'll also have things with, former Imagineers or people who worked in the park or things like that, and they'll tell stories about what it was like to do these things back in the day. So pay attention to the events that Give Kids the World offers, because they do offer a number of fantastic events throughout the year that are just really dive into that Disney history and the Disney nerddom. So you definitely should be on the lookout for these type of events that they have.
And shout out to Steven. He's our buddy. He is killing it down there at Give Kids the World. He always is very kind to our show. And
absolutely.
Just, great things.
And I promise, Steven, I know you're probably listening. I promise we are working on.
We are. We're going to do it big and right. We just got to make sure. I mean, of course, Pam's at Walt Disney World right now. So
correct.
There's a lot of travel this year, but we're never going to abandon Give Kids the World. We love it.
Never. But I'm sorry that it's taken us so long. My deepest apologies. I promise. I'm so sorry.
Let's get to the clickbait. You ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Facebook. Let's make people either love it and you got to click it, or like, oh, I'm never going to listen to that show again. Because
exactly. Clickbaity.
No, I've
breaking news.
I've almost quit Facebook 1,000 times because of stuff like this. But here we go. It's a question, actually an email from listener Matthew.
Okay.
And he says it's a clickbait listener question, but I thought we were going to do kind of a whole show on this, or at least part. He says, "Hey, BOGP team, I've got a question that might be best suited for Rikki. I'm a go-to consultant for recommending hotels or resorts to my friends when they travel to Walt Disney World. I try to base my recommendations on their trip needs, but often I take my friends' personalities into account as well. If you were to write a clickbaity online quiz titled, 'Everyone has a Walt Disney resort that matches their personality, here's yours.'" Well, I can actually see the graphic. I mean, it's so scary. What would the results be? Which personalities seem best suited for which resort? Thanks for all your help over the years. I'm originally from North Carolina, but I've moved all over the country, and the Be Our Guest podcast has always been there when I lament over not having a Disney World vacation lined up. But I'm in Orange County, California, so I'll just go to Disneyland.
You'll just go to Disneyland, right? Yeah.
You're going to make it, Matt. No, thank you so much for the email, Matt, and thanks for always taking it. That's what I love about podcasting. Honestly, it's so cool. This morning on Twitter, I'm talking to a listener from the United Kingdom. We had a UK listener talk about his honeymoon on Monday's show. It's a worldwide thing, and it's expanded my world so much. So thank you for taking us wherever you listen. I see people listen in Australia. Oh, so cool. All over, even the Middle East, Africa. It's awesome. Asia. So let's talk about this. So, first of all, I kind of want to talk about categories. We can dive into specific resorts. So let's start with values. And so personality wise, the kind of person, and again, this is just opinions. It could be totally wrong because I think everybody stays at a value. Economics play into it. The length of the trip, the goals, if it's a running trip, if it's a vacation, it all switches up. But this is all just way in general. Value hotels, personality trait I think you need is, to me, high energy.
Yeah.
That's what I agree. I mean, to really enjoy the All Stars Art of Animation Pop Century, you got to be somebody that's all about like your high energy. Like you're not really going there to be like laid back.
No, absolutely. You're definitely a park open to park close, or at the very least, most of the day in the parks. Typically not going for breaks. I mean, you may, but for the most part, you typically may not do that. And of course, they're value resorts, so I tend to see them more with the you know, especially the bloggers that I have and things like that. Like I tend to see the younger people who go to Walt Disney World who are looking to go, maybe staying at a value resort as well. So maybe honeymooners who are just starting out or things like that. That's kind of what I see going to the value resorts too. Although goodness knows I'm not above staying at a value resort, and that's typically where I end up staying. So I also, the fiscally responsible, which is what I like to call my husband. So I see them staying at the value resorts. So.
That's it. Okay, so now let's hop into the moderate category, which I think is the toughest one.
Oh, that's true.
To assign when it comes to a personality quiz for something like this exercise, because high energy I think is perfect for values. Moderates, again, it's that middle ground where, of course, we're talking about Coronado Springs, we're talking about Caribbean Beach, we're talking about Riverside and French Quarter, and also technically the cabins over at Fort Wilderness. You go first. What personality trait would best fall into somebody staying? Very general. Of course, it's just a fun exercise here on a Friday. But what would you say for somebody that's looking at the moderate category? What's their personality like?
I think they are a mixture of go, go, go and laid back. Like you have that. You really can be. It's, especially like really it's like my marriage with Brian. Like I'm more of the high energy go, go, go person and he's more of the laid back person. So to combine the two of us, like the moderate resorts are the perfect fit for the two of us because I can still go, go, go and feel okay with that. And he's, but we still feel comfortable, doing kind of a little bit of a laid back thing there too. So I think it's the perfect combination of the two is what I think for that kind of personality trait.
I agree, especially with couples. I think it's the compromiser that's picking.
That's exactly it. It's definitely the compromiser. Yes.
But I think also when you think about the moderate category, this isn't a rule for everybody because I know a lot of people break this rule that I've talked to. But I think for a majority of people, it's not your first time visitor. It's your person who
definitely
maybe gone 2 or 3 times, and stayed at an All-Star Sports or maybe a music and maybe a Pop Century of Art. Maybe they're going to stay a little bit longer and they're not so focused on the parks anymore. They want to have a break day. They want to have a little bit bigger experience at the pool. They want to have a second transportation option available, whether it's go to Disney Springs, Skyliner over at Caribbean Beach. Coronado Springs just has lots of, it's just a fancier, moderate resort. You're just looking for that little bit extra and you're going to spend more time at your hotel. That's what I say.
Yes, I absolutely agree with that. And going back to the values, I think that a lot of times the value resorts are for people who are looking to stay, longer as well, who have that long, 7 to 10 day trip or something like that. I feel like that's more of the personality who would stay for a longer vacation too. So I just wanted to throw that back in there because you mentioned, the moderate with that. So I just wanted to kind of throw that back. So.
And also Stephanie says, not a personality trait, but if you're a family of 5,
that's a good point.
Or
definitely
to the next category. So let's talk about deluxe resorts. So here's what I think for deluxe resorts and personality traits. This is the opposite of the value person, obviously. You are not high energy. Not that you can't be, because I spin all the categories depending on what the goal of the trip is. But in general, you're not like Thurston Howell from Gilligan Island, but you are, you kind of want the finer things in life for a little bit. You want to maybe stay out of the parks, maybe not go to the parks for 2 or 3 days, sit by the pool, have some fine dining that's very accessible, larger rooms, and you want to make this trip really special. So I think this is kind of the person who is the laid back and relaxed and wants to not go, go, go.
And I think it's for the celebration trip too, for those who are looking to have that special experience. We always hear, hey, I want to do something special for a birthday or an anniversary or, something like that. I feel like this is the resort for, those who are celebrating, that kind of vacation, that kind of personality trait.
All right, so let's do this. Let's dive into some of the specific resorts. I'm just going to hop around. I'll give one, then you give one. I want to go with Pop Century in the value category. And I want to say that this resort is perfect for somebody like me. And here's why.
Yes. Old. No, I'm just joking.
No, it's not old. I think actually at Pop Century, it's a lot of young people. I'm
No,
kind of
that's
the
true.
exception there.
That's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
but I kind of see myself as a young person. I mean, I get up and I run a half marathon every morning. I try to stay hip on sports. I mean, I know that I can't fight my age, and I'm
Right.
not, but I do a lot of younger person stuff. Anyhow, past that, this is going to make me sound old. The reason I picked Pop Century, there's actually a culture of people that are into like retro things, like retro video game systems, retro music. I only listen to like 80s on 8 on Sirius XM. I like the nostalgia of everything. And I think Pop Century is perfect for somebody that's a nostalgia fan, especially
Yes.
like that age of say like 40 to 50 right now that maybe grew up like their prime time was in the 80s. Their childhood was the 80s. Pop Century is a great nod to the 80s. They have a lot of stuff going on. It's comfortable to me. I love that trip down memory lane. Pop Century is perfect for like the retro or the 80s child. So that's what I would say for Pop.
No, I 100% agree with that. As someone who is in that category, that is 100% correct. It is like it can take you back to not only your childhood, but it also takes you back to like the before times. So you have the 50s section, and that era has always interested me as growing up. Like I obviously never lived in the 50s, but the 50s was such an interesting time, 50s and early 60s and things like that, where it's just such an interesting time. So the fact that I get to relive something that I never got to experience in a weird sort of way is definitely something that appeals to me about staying at Pop Century.
Pop Century needs to have a 24-hour diner.
Oh my gosh, yes. But I've said this for years that there needs to be a diner.
Yeah. Breakfast food all day. Yeah.
And they just don't. They totally kill it. Somewhere there needs to be a diner on Walt Disney World property that serves breakfast all day. I don't know how many times I have to say this. Put it in there, Disney.
Put it like somewhere between like Art and Pop, and you'd be accessible via Skyliner. That place would be just cha-ching,
Yes.
printing money.
Exactly. You're just losing out money at Disney. I'm just telling you. So
okay.
Yes.
Pick a hotel and let's go with the person.
So I'm gonna stay in the value section, and I am gonna go. I'm gonna do a twofer. So I am actually gonna go with Disney's Art of Animation and Disney's All-Star Movies, which I think this is for the Disney lover, the personality who is absolutely in love with all things Disney, wants to be completely 100% immersed in everything Disney, whether it's The Little Mermaid or The Lion King, or, if you're kind of an older movie fan and you go to All-Star and you want to see, the 101 Dalmatians. I mean, that was a fantastic childhood movie for me. That, again, there's just such great options at both that I think they can appeal to everyone. So I think that both of those resorts are absolutely perfect for those who just want to immerse themselves in the Disney movies and really, have that Disney feeling vacation, the truly, truly 100% all Disney all the time vacation. Because you can, the other resorts, yes, they have touches of Disney, of course they do, but those ones, I mean, they are legit all Disney all the time. I mean, you can't escape it. So that's kind of my thought process on that.
I 100% agree. I mean, it's like if you're the person that's seen the Disney movies, grown up, especially with the animated classics.
Exactly.
I mean,
heck, you could have grown up with Herbie the Love Bug, or the Mighty Ducks.
It's coming back, except
it is coming back with Gordon Bombay, and that's awesome.
Yeah, but the goalie got arrested.
I know. I saw that. He did not look good. No.
Goldberg.
Yes, this is what drugs do to you. Yes, maybe don't do those. Yeah.
Wasn't even a goalie fight like I think it was the Oilers and the Flames the other night. That was awesome. But yeah, he got thrown in the joint. So it's nice.
Yes.
Yeah, gotta have those Disney Channel stars that.
Yes. Now, if they get Joshua Jackson to come back, I'm in on that one.
No idea. All right.
Didn't you watch Dawson's Creek? Pacey?
Yeah. Oh, Pacey. Okay, I know who Pacey is.
He was in the Mighty Ducks.
I watched it because my wife liked it.
Yeah, your wife liked Dawson's Creek.
I bought one Valentine's Day. I bought her the Dawson's Creek box set.
That's awesome. By the way, I'm Team Joey, or Team Pacey and Joey. So I'm just throwing that out there. I'm just saying, yeah.
Just say that back when I was trying to catch her. That's what she always says.
Got it.
Yeah. Okay. So here we go. I'm doing a threefer. You did a
okay. All right. All right. Let's throw it in there.
I'm doing Yacht Club, Beach Club, Boardwalk.
Okay.
So now here's the perception from a dude that's from the Midwest. about the personality of the person who stays at those resorts. For me, I want to live my Michael Eisner life when I stay at those resorts. You know what I'm saying? Because I've never been up east. Like, I know I have so many friends that live up in the Northeast. Jocelyn, from Rhode Island, or Jeanette up in Delaware. And so many friends like in Boston. And all these places that like I only know through TV shows like Blue Bloods. I know New York City, and other shows. So I don't know. Like when I'm there, I feel like I'm some kind of like fancy person. My personality of the person who stays at Yacht Club, Beach Club, and Boardwalk. Again, totally is making it up. Fancy. Like you like the finer things in life. You want to go into the cruise cup and be like, yes, sir. I would like to have a little scotch on the rocks here before I go play my
What accent is that? Please don't do it.
I don't know. This is just for fun and it's clickbaity. We're totally suckering you into the show. So I don't know. Like I just see like there's not even a golf course over by these.
No.
You can go play putt over at the Fantasia Gardens, I guess. But I'm just saying, like I see, like I felt very comfortable wearing a captain's hat the whole time we stayed at Yacht Club.
Yes, that's true.
Perfect.
Got it. Yes.
But the one word I would say, and you just said it, fancy when you stay there. So what do you think real quick about people who stay at Yacht Club, Beach Club, and what's their personality? Boardwalk.
Yeah, I definitely think that the people who stay, they like the finer things in life a little bit, but they're not as highfalutin as the people who stay at the Grand Floridian. I will say that the Grand Floridian is for the highfalutin people. And I say this jokingly as someone who stayed at the Grand Floridian and walked through the lobby in my swimming suit and be like, I feel really awkward doing this. But the Grand Floridian is for highfalutin people. The Yacht, Beach, and Boardwalk are for the fancy people. And there is a difference.
So, and, we're totally stereotyping out of fun.
Absolutely.
Because like I used to be scared. I mean, honestly, like I believed these stereotypes for years at Walt Disney World. I was scared to death to go in the Grand Floridian because I'm like, dude, they're gonna be like, that guy's from Missouri, man. Tase him, get him out of here. Like, he doesn't go back to Pop Century,
where you belong. No, not really.
I mean, I've eaten Narcoossee's now because I ate with Scott and Elizabeth, and
I know. Look at you.
I know, and it's totally fine. These are all just kind of fun, like mind's eye things of what you may think about people, because everybody stays everywhere. Okay, so this one was brought up, and I was going to save this one, but Stephanie's got it here, and she nailed it actually.
All right.
So I was going to go with Riverside and French Quarter for another twofer.
Yes.
And again, romantic.
Yes.
Romantics. And I'm not talking about the band. No. I'm talking about the people who are going to be celebrating hardcore next Friday.
Yes.
Sending us in. Again, we need your Is This Romantic suggestions ASAP. Send them in right away because we're going to render our verdicts next Friday. But I totally agree that French Quarter in Riverside, pure romance. You got the horse-drawn carriage, going around click clock with the horse's hooves. I mean, French Quarter in general at night with the jazz playing and the street lamps and Sassagoula River. I mean, that's like a baby making resort.
Wow,
like I mean,
that's where you're going. Okay, good for you.
I'm just saying. So just saying, either one of those resorts, that is for your romantic.
It is definitely for the romantic, for sure. I 100% agree with that. There's just something about both of those resorts that are they just scream, elegance and romance. And yes, I agree with that. So we're good there. All right. So I have one that I don't think you would guess. It's a twofer. Okay. Are you ready for it? Ready for it? I am going to say that Disney's Contemporary Resort and Disney's Polynesian Resort are
okay, go. I want to hear where you're going with these two.
Okay. Yeah, I know. You're like, how can they be similar, right? Well, they are for the uber Disney nerd. And the reason I say that is because these two resorts are the very first resorts on Walt Disney World property. So if you want to immerse yourself in everything like classic, essential Walt Disney World, you are absolutely going to want to stay at one of these two resorts. Now, I know, of course, they've changed a little bit as time has gone on. But for the most part, you still have like that great Mary Blair artwork that's on the wall at the Contemporary, which definitely gives it the feel of the original. You have the feel of, I know that they don't have the waterfall and the fountain in the Polynesian anymore, but you still have that general overall feel of the ceremonial house there too. So I think that the Disney nerd, and I say that lovingly as a Disney nerd, that is the those two resorts are the perfect resort for those type of people.
See, here's the thing. I was going to go Polynesian with somebody that is, wants that tropical, like they're the person who's always
Absolutely.
dreaming of, like they're that person who on Facebook is posting pictures of their toes on the beach. You know what I'm saying? Like
No,
it's the
100%.
person that's like
I
me,
wanted to go
like I
something a
like
little
being
different though. I mean, everybody thinks of the tropics when you think of the Polynesian. So I
true.
was going to
But
go
I
with
mean, I
something
think
a
it's,
little.
there's some people that like that's in their soul,
That's true.
like they say, like they're posting memes on Facebook that say, got to get my vitamin C, but they still
Exactly. That's
have
also Caribbean Beach
yeah,
too.
yeah, we might cover them all. I don't
We
know.
might get them all.
Here's the deal about the Contemporary, because that one is so weird to me.
It is.
I've never stayed at the Contemporary,
I
and
haven't either.
I never think to stay there. But the thing is, when I'm there, like I tend to really enjoy. Again, this is a high energy resort. Just I'm talking
Yes.
about Contemporary. Polynesian's laid back. Like these are
Oh, definitely.
on opposite sides of the spectrum in that aspect.
Yes.
But I always wonder why. I mean, because I love Tomorrowland and I love
Agreed.
the monorail. But
Agreed.
why am I not? That's a kind of a curious question that maybe not on today's show we're going to explore. But like, the Wilderness Lodge here now pulls me in, like for a reason.
Yeah.
Animal Kingdom Lodge for like it just depends on what I'm looking for. Like there's
Right.
times I miss those places, but like
No.
the Contemporaries never like magneted me in and said, you know what? Because I've never been there and I don't really feel like I'm missing it.
No, I agree with you. Like, it's on my bucket list of hotels to stay at, just to knock it off the list. And of course, for a lot of people, it is the end all be all Disney Resort because,
And I
again,
would love it. I'm sure if I stay
I
there.
would love it too. You've got the monorail right there and everything like that. But I agree, I also haven't stayed here, and I think part of it is obviously, money, and
True.
it is an expensive resort.
Because if I'm staying there, I'm not going to do. And I know some people do the garden wing, but like,
Yeah,
sense of the Contemporary is the tower. I would have
exactly.
the tower. I think.
The other thing I think that's kind of like a knock for it, and it's not really a knock, but there really doesn't feel like at the Polynesian, there's a place that you feel like homey. You know what I'm saying? Like you got the lobby there and you feel like you can just hang out. Same with, the Wilderness Lodge, and even on a smaller scale, like the Yacht and Beach Club, like you still feel like you can hang out in the lobby. And I feel like at the Contemporary, there's just not that place to go in a way hang out. There's
like, to me, like you're onto something here, because the Contemporary, it seems like the atrium is so huge. Like,
yes,
it's like I feel like it's a common area for like just in general people passing through. It doesn't feel like it belongs to Contemporary guests. It feels like it belongs to everybody leaving the Magic Kingdom.
absolutely. I mean, it feels like it belongs to everybody in general because it is a pass through. You've got the restaurants there, so people are constantly going and passing through the restaurants. They're constantly going and passing through the shops that are there too.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the arcade that's there, so people are always coming and going in that area. And I feel like that's part of the problem. I also feel like downstairs, there's just in the main check-in area and where the wave is, there's again no real comfortable place to kind of hang out and relax. I feel like it's too segmented in a weird way. So I think that might be part of the reason why the Contemporary feels much more it feels kinetic in a way.
But I mean, I think that is, I think the people passing through is exactly what it has to have, because the whole focus of this resort is, like you said it, the word, it's kinetic, it's movement, the monorail, you can look right down into Chef Mickey's and see the napkins waving in the air, just walking the room. I mean, it is all about movement and colors, and
absolutely,
that's it. But I mean, you're right. I mean, you miss that kind of intimate, like lobby and big couches that you have like at a beach club, yacht club.
Absolutely. Yes, 100%. So I think that's probably why, that has been down on our list of places to stay and why we haven't done it yet. It just, Yes, it's an original, and yes, it's an incredibly cool resort, and I have zero problems visiting. I love visiting the
Yeah, I go
Contemporary.
there all the time. The stores are great. I
Yeah,
love the stores there.
especially because I have a little pastry or snack,
Yeah,
bakery
exactly.
shop in
Yes.
the
Yeah.
store. I always go and grab something there, and yeah, and hang out in the outer rim, the bar there, or whatever. So that's an interesting case study on that one.
It is. I've always wondered about it because I do want to stay there. Mallory really wants to stay there. I mean, but it
Does
is
he?
expensive.
Well,
So
yeah, of course, yeah, yeah.
and shout out to Matt Parrish, Chiefs. Yes.
Yes.
You still have
Go, Matt.
That's it. All right. So what about this one? This one kind of throws me off too. Coronado Springs. What's the
Ooh.
personality of the person staying at Coronado? Here's what I think, real quick. I think this is your kind of person that wants to leave work behind,
Yes.
but maybe they can't. Not
Yes.
they don't want to, but it's like somebody that has to be on call, and they want to have the very themed Disney resort. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it is very themed to the Southwest. It's a great theme. It's a great resort. I mean,
Yes.
totally for vacationing. But if you're a person that's like a travel agent or like a doctor or like a real estate agent, somebody that you're
Still needs to be on call. Yeah.
But if like a fire has to be put out, you need a few resources available to you, but you still want to be in a very themed Walt Disney World resort. I think Coronado fits the bill.
I absolutely agree with you. And I think with the new tower, the Grand Estina Tower, there's a hint of elegance that's there now too. That, I think is for maybe those higher, obviously that's kind of what they built it for, was those higher end business people, to have a place to go so that, if they do need to work or do something like that, they can feel comfortable with what they're doing. So yeah, I agree with you. It's like, it's I kind of want to go with the mullet. It's business in the front, party in the back.
That's totally it. It's the mullet of the moderate.
It's the mullet moderate. Yes.
Hashtag the mullet of the
I
moderate.
need to make a shirt about Coronado Springs being the business
Totally,
in the front, party in the back.
I'd wear that like Billy Ray Cyrus in the 90s.
That's fantastic.
By the way, he was in a commercial during the Super Bowl.
Yes, he was. That was the Doritos one.
Yeah,
yes.
Or something like that. I was like,
Yeah.
I didn't know who the other two people were, but
haven't you heard Old Town Road, Mike?
I've heard it, but I didn't know that was the singer. I thought that was Martin Lawrence the whole time. I was like, what's he doing there?
That's the singer for Old Town Road, and then the other guy is Sam Elliott, who's been in like every.
No idea who the old guy was either. We're like,
you've never seen Sam Elliott?
No, we're like,
in like every Western movie ever, basically.
I don't know how to watch movies, but his mustache was sweet. How it?
Yeah, no, he's like mustache, and he was also on a show called The Ranch on Netflix for a while too. So yeah. Anyway,
and real quick, tell me the Google commercial wasn't like up and about made me cry.
Yes, exactly. It really was.
But it was my favorite. That's how I am. I'm like, Pam, my favorite commercial is the Google one. You got to watch it. She's like, this is so sad.
It is sad. No. It's so sad. I like the Alexa one. So
yeah, that's pretty funny too.
Yeah.
Alex.
Yeah.
Alfred. That was awesome. I like that Alexa thing for old people. There's a video on YouTube. Alexa seniors. It's hilarious. Anyway, so let's get back. Okay, real quick. What about Wilderness Lodge?
Ooh.
Wilderness Lodge, I would go with is the person who is the nature lover.
Yes.
Because, I've never been to the Pacific Northwest. I know Ed, one of our listeners, Ed, who's a lizard. I see him post things occasionally. I know we have friends out that way. I would love to get out there. I've been to Yosemite in California and I've seen like the sequoias, the big trees, but I would just love to see that kind of almost American, like just rainforest, like the big pines. When I stay at Wilderness Lodge often, and I think it's for Christmas lovers during the holidays, but I think it's really for that nature lover that really wants to hear the wind whistle through the pines.
Oh, absolutely. And for those who are really looking for relaxation, because you're definitely going to find relaxation at the Wilderness Lodge. I mean, if you can't find relaxation, you're not looking hard enough. So yeah, I think that's the key for that resort. Yeah.
Let's go real quick. Here's another one I want to hit. Old Key West. And so this one kind of falls on that Polynesian type personality person that wants the really chill, laid back. They need some vitamin SEA. They want to see the palm trees. But I think also this is the person who, in a way, this is totally, go with me here.
Okay.
When I stay at Old Key West, and I love Old Key West.
Yes.
The Scott and his family who are DVC owners at Old Key West. I've got to stay there with them, and I've stayed there on my own a few times now. It's the person who wants to, they have the personality that they want to be a snowbird for like 5 days. Like you want to pretend like you live in Florida in a retirement community.
That's
That's
true.
what Key West is. I mean, it's like
I mean,
it's
I
like
need to
living your
look
best Florida.
for, Blanche and Sophia.
Yeah, yeah,
Where's Rose?
it's like the village is light, apparently, or something. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I agree with you 100% on that. I feel like it's more the home away from home resort, where you're looking about spending some time away, but also have a little bit of like homey atmosphere. So I feel like that's the kind of person who stays there. So
all right, so let's go one more, and then we're going to wrap it up here on a Friday. I'm going to go with Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge, and this is obviously for the person who is they're the world traveler. They're the person who always wants to go to that next destination, have the next authentic experience in their life. Because, while you're looking at Pop Century and, the All Stars, where you're looking at made up adventures, like the Lion King or what have you. I think the person who really wants to get out there and see the world, like the Amazing Race fan, like I want to live life to the fullest. I want real adventures in my life. You go to Animal Kingdom Lodge, you get to interact with cast members from Africa. You get to see real animals, and it's very, fluid. You don't know if you're going to see a giraffe or a wildebeest or whatever when you wake up in the morning, but it's for the world traveler.
Absolutely. I think it's also for the animal lover, because, where else are you going to see some of those animals like walking right outside your window? I mean, that's kind of the, sorry. Stop, Daisy. That's kind of the whole like point of Animal Kingdom Lodge in general, is to see where the animals are and see animals that you wouldn't normally see. So I think that it's absolutely for the animal lover, 100%. So yeah, there's that one.
All right, so that is going to do it for our ideas on most of the resorts down at Walt Disney World. We didn't get to all of them, but we got to most of them. Yeah. We got to more than I thought we would. So now I want to throw it over to you guys. So this weekend on Facebook, facebook.com/BeOurGuestPodcast, get in on the conversation, give us a resort, and tell us where we're right, where we're wrong, and give us your opinions. Throw a resort out there, and what is the personality type of the person who stays there? Again, everybody stays everywhere at Walt Disney World. We know that. But I mean, like, what do you think? Like when it pops into your head, like when you take a personality profile, like when they show you the ink blots, like what's that? And you're like, it's a bag of dog food.
Right?
Like, no,
it's definitely not a bag of dog food.
No, exactly. I mean, it's like, no, that's supposed to be like a piece of loose leaf paper.
Yeah, exactly. There
you
go.
It's just what you see in your mind's eye. I think it's a fun exercise over the weekend. It just gets us talking about the Walt Disney World resorts and get our mind off real life for a little bit. So drop by and get in on the conversation. Don't forget, if you want to go to these places for real, the Magic for Less travel will make that happen. Drop by themagicforless.com today. Check out all the great specials. While you're there, fill out the free no obligation quote form and let them know that you heard about them here on the show. So again, themagicforless.com, and put Be Our Guest Podcast in how did you hear about us. Also, please use our Amazon affiliate link, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. You get all your Prime benefits, cost you nothing extra, and every purchase does help support the show. So beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon for that. Give us a follow on social media, Instagram and Twitter at beourguestmike and at beourguestpod. And of course, facebook.com/beourguestpodcast. Follow Rikki. She's living her best Little Mermaid life this week.
I am.
Rikki, safe travels.
I really, that should be my hashtag Little Mermaid life.
So safe travels down and have the best time ever.
Thank you. I hope to. It's going to be amazing. So yeah.
All right, so we're going to get out of here. Pam will be back with us next week. And
I will not be.
It's like we can't all three be in the same time anymore. It's rough. But I will be here like Cal Ripken at shortstop in Baltimore.
Because you make it so.
That's what I do.
Let's just be perfectly honest. You make it that way.
Exactly. All right. So for Rikki and Pam, I'm Mike. Wish you a great weekend. Whatever you do, stay safe, and we'll see you real soon.
Ow, my little piranha. She was doing so well, and then she just went nutso. Stop, Daisy. Stop. 1600. Daisy, stop it. This is what a little piranha looks like. Ow, as she eats my finger. Ow. Stop. She's a nut.
That's why when Riley's here, I make them put that dog somewhere because that dog is crazy.
Well, she would cry downstairs, so you'd hear that. So I'd rather her be here eating my fingers than her crying downstairs and you hearing that.
That's true.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, hey, have fun.
Thank you. I can't believe I'm going to be meeting Jodie Benson in less than a week. Oh my God.
I'm kind of more of a Ursula guy.
I know. It's going to be awesome.
Because she's got the body language.
Sorry. I didn't mean to yell, but I got bit really hard. So,
all right.
I better go before my dog eats my cord.
I'm going to edit 2 shows and go eat Taco Bell.
All right. Enjoy. See you later.
See everybody. Have a good week.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Stop.